Yo, what up you guys, Magic IQ here, and today I've compiled another top 3 list for you guys, so make sure you guys leave a like instantly, man. I know you guys love these videos. Make sure you guys comment maybe some cars that you think should have been included that I maybe didn't. I have a top 3 and then a little bit of honorable mentions after, maybe 1 or 2 cars per class. For S class, I have actually a few honorable mentions. Everything will be linked down below in the description, as well as if you guys want to just get ahead of it, you can go to the playlist that I have called Need for Speed Unbound, and I have every single build, every single video I've ever uploaded on Need for Speed Unbound to this channel in that playlist. So make sure you guys stop by there. Make sure though that it is up to date and the most recent upload of that car, as I have re-uploaded cars multiple times as we found better and better builds, and the update volume 3 should come out in the next coming months. But before then, the list has already changed since the last time I posted it, so I wanted to keep it updated for you guys. But we're going to cruise around in this beautiful ZR1 that I have a build video for S class coming out soon for, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous and it sounds great. So we're just going to cruise around in this thing while I read this list off to you guys. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the Need for Speed Unbound content recently. I can't wait till this update comes out. I really don't know what volume 3 has in store for us yet, but if it's anything like the last one, we're for sure going to get some balance updates, which will affect a lot of these top 3s, just because honestly I'm seeing a lot of repeat cars in this top 3 list. It has almost completely changed since the last time, but you guys are going to be a little upset to hear that a couple of the cars are literally in every single category. If not top 3, at least the top 5 are an honorable mention. So first things first, let's get straight into it with B class. So actually at the number 3 spot, it's actually a drift build for the NSX that I will be putting out pretty soon in B class for the number 3 spot. So make sure you guys check out the most recent build I have of it for grip on my channel. It is pretty up to date. That car is actually very good in B class and pretty slept on too. It handles very well. It is a little bouncy though, kind of reminds me of the TESTAROSSA. If you try to drive it in S class, it does bounce a lot, but if you can get that under control, it's amazing. Now coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the TESTAROSSA. I'm pretty sure you guys know that car is one of the faster overall top speed builds in B class, so it does get to that top speed a little bit quicker and can redline tech a little bit better than any of the other cars in B class, that is. So that's why it has that spot, and it is very dominant on a few of those longer B class tracks. Now for the number 1 spot though, we have the RSR. It's the undisputed champion of B class. That thing is very strong. If you guys are wanting that build, I can upload that to the channel, as well as I have a drift build for that car as well coming out pretty soon, so make sure you guys stick around for that. A lot of these top 3 builds will be coming out soon, as they have been refreshed honestly, and I haven't seen them around a lot. I've seen old versions of the builds that are very good, but I believe I've found some better working stuff, at least for my personal driving style, that I want to share with you guys. So make sure you guys stick tuned to the channel, turn on those post notifications so you never miss when a potential upload for those comes out. Now, what are we going to check on next? We're going to check on the honorable mentions. Now, personally, I love the R34 in this class. It is very good, as well as the 180SX is another honorable mention I'll give to you guys. Those videos will be linked in the description as well. Make sure you guys check those out. One of them built by Kois, another one tuned by myself but given to me by ATK a while back, and then I adjusted the car to fit my liking, which was a little bit more towards a slidier drift style. So make sure you guys go check those videos out as well. Now for A class, we actually have at the number 3 spot, which was originally the number 1 car, is the RSR. Again, showing up again. This list might irritate you guys because you're going to hear 3 of the same cars back to back, and as you guys are expecting, at the number 2 spot we actually have the TESTAROSSA. Now the reason I didn't put this car at the number 1 spot is because honestly the car that is in the number 1 spot isn't falling that behind in terms of top speed, and it is way better at cornering, and that is the 180SX, man, holding a lot of world records. The TESTAROSSA is holding a few itself, and those cars are just battling for time, so both have similar top speeds. This Testarossa obviously able to stretch its legs just a little bit more, and the 180SX more nimble, able to corner a lot better than the Testarossa. But trust me, you can definitely throw that big old Ferrari around some corners. That thing does still slide. So if you guys want to see some drift builds with the Testarossa, I already have one that I use personally. If you stop by the streams, I've shown it on stream a couple times. If you guys want that video, let me know down below in the comments. But I do have a grip build already on the channel that you guys can check out. Link down below in the description. After some honorable mentions though, for A class, I actually really was surprised by this car. It's actually in the most recent Simgi challenge. It is the Nissan Silvia K's S14. I absolutely love that car in A class. It's actually very fun to drive and about just a step behind the top two cars in terms of top speed. I know the R34 is another honorable mention in A class, also very good, but those top three cars are kind of undefeated at the moment. For A plus though, we have a similar lineup yet again. So at the number 3 spot, we actually have the RSR, and it's kind of funny. The A class list and the A plus list are identical, and the number 2 spot is the Testarossa, once again in A plus class. Again, just able to stretch its legs more than any other car in the class. Doesn't have quite the turning capabilities of the number 1 car, which has a balance of both the RSR's turning capabilities and the Testarossa's top speed, and that is again the 180SX, man. Doesn't touch that Testarossa this time though at all in those top speed races. So as far as top speed races go, that Testarossa is gone, but the 180SX pretty much dominates everywhere else the RSR used to. So make sure you guys check out those builds, link down below in the description as well. Now, for some honorable mention for A plus class, I have one that I wanted to mention personally, and that is the Golf GTI, is that I think it is capable of taking a few world records, honestly. As long as there's dirt, that thing is scooting. If there's any off-road territories that can be completely abused in A plus class, if there is dirt off-road on the track. Now, the thing is, you do have to redline tech the crap out of that car, as it does top out at about 160 if you don't, but you can get that thing to go all the way up to 172, which is a very competitive top speed, especially for how quick it does indeed reach that top speed. So make sure you guys check out that build as well, link down below in the description. Now, for S class. This class obviously has a lot of attention on YouTube. A lot of people have built a lot of cars for this class, as I believe it's one of the most diverse, especially now because a lot of cars can get up to S class and go down to S class. With the new restrictions of only being able to go down one class, that eliminated a lot of variety from A class and B class, but also balancing them out, which is something that was needed. But S class now has become the most variety possible in a certain class, but it does have some standouts, and I am here to list those off for you guys today. So let's start from the bottom. At the number 3 spot, kind of a new entry, as it has taken a world record on Blue Collar, one of the more popular tracks in S class, at least without the Golf GTI being around, I would say is the SV Roadster. Now, the number 3 spot could definitely go to the Golf GTI, but a lot of people don't respect that car in S class, as it does have a clear advantage in terms of top speed and off-road capabilities, and there's a lot of dirt on those S class tracks. So a lot of people don't respect that car, but I would personally put it at the number 3 spot as well, and I will be linking it down below in the description, both those cars, for a combined number 3 spot. Now, the SV Roadster though, only really good on those short tracks, so don't use that thing on any tracks with any top speed or anything like that. It does not go above 100, I think 70 or 80 miles per hour. So if you guys do not have a track car for longer races, then definitely don't only build the SV Roadster. It is not versatile enough to compete all across the board. Now, at the number 2 spot though, we have the 1971 GTR. Now, this car used to be the king of A plus and S class, but it has lost its crown in A plus as well as S class. I believe it's almost even a number 3 car, but I cannot deny how quick this thing is on a straightaway. If there is any straightaway, this thing is absolutely dominating, and it has decent cornering capabilities, but no match for the drift cars of today's meta in S class and in the game overall. Now, the number 1 spot, I believe, still belongs to the F40, as that thing has held its course through time. Still a great car for top speed tracks, as it can be built for both top speed and for cornering, but it does dominate on blue collar as well, being the closest car to the SV Roadster at about a 150 to a low 40 or high 40 time. I'm sorry, you can get that car down that low into the 40s on blue collar. It just requires a lot of consistency and a lot of skill, but it is an absolutely amazing car across the board, hence why it gets that #1 spot. It also does still hold a couple records, being on Getting High Tonight, and I believe a couple other tracks as well, but you guys can do that research on YouTube for yourselves. As honorable mentions go, I mean, there's almost too many to name. I suggest you guys just look up S-Class builds, and all of them are pretty decent, but I guess I can name the 180SX as an obvious one. The Testarossa does have a great top speed, horrible bouncing though, wouldn't recommend that one, but it does have a crazy top speed on some flat tracks, so maybe there's like a couple out there that it would be completely dominant on, like Hot Pursuit or something like that. I know there's also the Black Series GTR that I have here on the channel, as well as a couple other short track builds as well. This ZR1 is actually very decent and it's coming to the channel pretty soon as well. Anything you can kind of throw a lot of power into and have a low top speed in S-Class, like a Pista or a 488 GTB, is also going to be pretty good on those short tracks. So there's just so much unlimited variety in S-Class when it comes to honorable mentions, but the top 3 is solidified, and I don't think it's changing anytime soon unless they do another balance update, which hopefully should come in volume 3. Alright, you guys, and last but not least, we have S Plus class. Now, I say not least, but honestly, yeah, it's the least. I hate this class. I don't think I ever personally voluntarily drive S Plus unless I'm just feeling in a really weird mood. It's not really that fun. There's only a few cars that are viable, and anything else is pretty much just going to get slapped by the Regera, except for these other 2 cars, and those are at the #3 spot, the Lotus Exige. Very good acceleration, but it seems on tracks like Apex Predator, I can't really get that thing to snap quite as good as the #2 car. And that #2 car, being also very good at accelerating, is the FXXK. Now, the #3 car and the #2 car actually out-accelerate the Regera, but the Regera just has an unbeatable top speed, and ease of use of a 1-gear transmission requires absolutely zero skill, and that thing actually turns fairly well. I think in order to balance that car completely, they'd have to knock the handling just a tad bit more, but honestly, if they just uncap the top speed of the #3 car and the #2 car, they might actually be able to keep up. So who knows, maybe we'll make some adjustments to the top speed in volume 3, but until then, the Regera still reigns king, and that's just my personal opinion. Someone tried to tell me that driver mod could beat the Regera, but if the Regera has a driver mod, good luck to that. Also, I realized I forgot to mention, at the #2 spot is the Exige S. This car is very quick, but does not keep up overall with the Regera in terms of overall pace. We'll see how that goes, but I hope you guys have enjoyed today's top 3 cars in every tier. Again, going straight off of everything I've compiled from all my testing and tuning and, you know, just racing and lobbies. From my personal experience, the top 3 cars in each class. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys please subscribe and turn post notifications on for any of those builds you guys weren't able to catch in today's video because I have not released them yet. They will be coming here soon to this channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.